Hello, this is Father Lou, again with Carol Bezak, Director of the National Shrine of Our Lady of Mount Carmel here in Middletown, New York. Thank you, Carol, for having us again.
Thanks, Father Lou.
Now, you notice the fruit, it's autumn, okay, when we're taking this. Who knows when you'll see it, but it's autumn right now. And part of the decoration Carol had on this table was a full apple among these other apples. And it was so delicious looking. It called my name, so I had to eat it. And, of course, Carol clarified that by saying, well, it is apple territory, right?
Definitely.
So, as a director, what are some of your functions here? And you know, maybe a little personal insight into why you are here.
Okay, well, I'm here every day. The shrine is open from 8:30 to 4:30 every day.
Good.
So people come in and out. They come to spend a day in prayer. I have a lot of requests for people wanting to come and schedule a retreat, pilgrimage, which you can do at any time. And
Do they bring their own pilgrimage or retreat director, or do you also sponsor that?
it could be either way. Some of them bring a priest. Some of them bring sisters with them. And they have a planned itinerary of what they want to do.
Great.
Other times it's, they want us to offer what we have here, maybe a tour of the shrine, a talk about the Carmelite saints. So anything that they want to do or whichever direction they want to go in, I work with them. One of the main reasons I was hired was to bring a little more activity in life to the shrine. Okay. And I think that because of all my years of parish work, I have a lot of connections and was able to do that.
Right.
There are a lot of parishes in the New York area here, which I'm starting to get to know. They have been coming, and even they did not know that this place was here. And they're right in the general area.
Sure.
So there was a lack of communication as far as getting the word out and publicity.
Yeah.
And it's very simply done because it could be done through emails. I put together a letter inviting pastors to consider a group from your parish coming, sharing a day here. And then when people come, I have to say that they're totally amazed at what they see.
Is there a Facebook page?
We are on Facebook.
Good.
Yes.
And I guess, well, give us the Facebook address.
The Facebook address, you'd have to go to the Carmelite website.
Good.
Okay, the Carmelite, the province of St. Elias is the province. Okay.
And your website for this location?
Is www.ourladyofmountcarmelshrine.com.
Okay, so you got that down. We'll get that more about that later. Okay, so you're here and you're inviting other groups and people to come in to experience the beauty of the shrine. Outside, you mentioned, I didn't see them, but you mentioned there were Stations of the Cross?
There are Stations of the Cross in the cloister walk. We have a monastic cloister walk outside,
You gotta see that.
which you could see on our website. It's beautiful, and people come and just spend quiet time in prayer there. We've had youth groups come and pray the Stations of the Cross. We had a group from the Bronx. It was a charismatic group, and they were singing and praying the whole time as they walked through. It was wonderful.
I love it. That's
It was wonderful. So I've gotten to meet so many diverse groups of people from parishes in the Bronx, Brooklyn, and so there's a lot of flavor here as well. A lot of flavor here as
well. You have to advertise in New Jersey because we're only
well, I have been advertising a lot in New Jersey because I'm from the Patterson Diocese, and people are closer than they think.
Yes.
They think it's so far when they hear New York.
Okay, from Halden, it took us 56 minutes.
Oh, so that's
close.
That's
very good.
We
We left early and figured just in case, but it was a good trip.
Good.
And of course, Bill did the driving because he doesn't trust my driving. I don't know why, but anyway. So you bring people in, you direct them toward retreats and spiritual activities.
Right.
And what else are you planning to do on your horizon?
Well, the other area that is really mine to take care of is the shrine itself. So I have to make sure that things like the candles are all, I'm in charge of really making sure that the shrine looks the way it's supposed to and is ready for Mass every day.
I don't know what you think a shrine is, but it's a church. It's a major church. I know that's the shrine, but it's a beautiful church. The stained glass windows of the Carmelite saints I didn't even
Oh, they're
know
beautiful.
there were that many. I feel embarrassed, but didn't know there were that many Carmelite saints. But go ahead. So you
Yes.
take care of the shrine.
So I take care of the shrine, make sure that everything is in place and where it needs to be, make sure there's holy water in the holy water fonts, all of those things that have to be done. I do it, putting flowers up on the altar, and for different feast days, when the seasons change, I like to make sure that it looks the way it should. And a lot of that comes from my parish experience, because
Sure.
I have a pastor who taught me how to do all of that.
That's
so I
great.
attribute a lot of that to him.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
So-
And considering there are so many Carmelite saints, do you decorate in honor of each of the saints each time
For a
holiday
feast day,
happens?
yeah, for the feast days, we would maybe put out special pictures. We would, our prayer services here and our masses for the feast days are beautiful. They
That's
really are
great.
done very nicely.
Who
So.
conducts the music?
The music, we have a music director who has a small choir, and she plays we don't have an organ, we have kind of an electric piano,
Okay.
but it blends very well with, the singing in the church, and so she's done a great job.
That's great.
She's been here for a while.
Besides the practicality of applying for a job, was there something special that attracted you to the Carmelites?
Well, the Carmelite charism is very contemplative, and that is another piece to the puzzle that I think for me was very special and very prominent, because I've always been a contemplative. I've always really enjoyed the quietness of a prayer experience, of devoting time to spiritual direction, reflection. So for me, that was part of who I was. And when I saw that here, I mean, when you drive up and you see that cloister walk outside, you're so drawn to want to just be in there and spend some time in prayer.
Right.
It's almost like a little piece of Europe.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
Is the cloister true cloister? Is it closed from the public?
No, the cloister walk is open. It's available to anyone.
Okay.
To
Is there a
enjoy.
cloister on the premises?
No.
Okay, so there is
just
no.
the priory.
And I'm conscious of that, having been to Ireland and interviewed the sisters
Mm-hmm.
from the Poor Clares. Theirs is true cloister. I mean, it's open. You can see people and they see you, but those sisters don't go into the public necessarily.
Okay.
So that's a cloister. They're closed, and most of their prayer life is behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting is I recently gave a homily and mentioned the Poor Clares and how they spend their day in prayer.
Yeah.
And after Mass, someone said, what do they pray for? Or if you're praying all day, what are they praying for? I said, wow, that's a great question. And as Sister mentioned, they pray for everything. First of all, as here, people come to the door and ask for prayers. They pray for the church, for the world, for peace, for the Pope, and the list goes on, and their own families and their own community.
Yeah.
So prayer is so integral to those sisters, and integral, it seems, to the Carmelite charism as well.
Oh, it is. It is. There's the rule of Saint Albert calls.
Okay, tell us who St. Albert is.
Saint Albert was a patriarch, and the rule of Saint Albert is something that's followed by the Carmelites here. And I could see that in their daily routine. They spend time in prayer, communal meals together, things like that. As I said, I'm still learning all about it.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm also realizing that part of my life parallels some of that as well.
Beautiful.
I grew up in a Franciscan parish, so
Right,
St.
right.
Francis to me was, and he still is very important.
Sure.
But this is a kind of a new ground for me.
Excellent. And what's interesting is because of your interest and your developing interest, you're going to bring people in because they're going to come in with that same kind of, my word, naivete toward the Carmelite life. And once they're here, they'll, as I am doing right now, learning more about the Carmelites and their missions.
Yes,
It's
yes.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Is there one outstanding mission that the Carmelites focus on?
Well, the Carmelites are also known as the Brothers of the Blessed Virgin Mary. So they follow Mary. Mary is everything.
Okay.
You know, and the image of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, of course, is tied in also with the scapular, the brown
Yes,
scapular, and the Carmelites are in the brown habits.
Yes.
And so their devotion to Mary is everything.
Excellent.
After every Mass, there is a prayer to Mary. Let's say Hail Mary or Hail Holy Queen. So the devotion to Mary is very strong.
You mentioned the scapular, and most of us know what the scapular is. I received mine at First Communion, but there was a gentleman in church that you introduced me to, and he had a big scapular on him.
Yes.
So tell me what that's all about, and tell me what he's part of, because he mentioned it.
Okay. Charlie is a lay Carmelite, and we have an office here that promotes the lay Carmelite training, I'm going to say formation. And they stay very close to the Carmelites here. They have special days of retreat that they, they're following the rule as lay people. They're not ordained, they're not sisters, but yet they are lay people following the Carmelite way of life.
That's great.
Very
That's great.
Closely.
Maybe
So-
later on we'll interview him.
Oh, you should.
Shirley.
Yeah, he's a wonderful person.
Okay, bring him in.
Yeah.
This has been Father Louis Scurti on another segment, and we're going to continue these wonderful segments with Carol Bizak here at the National Shrine of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, Middletown, New York. You got to come. You got to make a pilgrimage, and I'll give you the phone number online and all that good stuff. Carol, thank you once again.
Thank
This
you,
is
Father
wonderful. We're going to be back with or without fruit in front of us. God bless you.